All right, all right. Hold on a second. I forgot to open it up in YouTube to make sure the audio is coming through okay. Let me double check that real quick. I'm probably guessing you guys can probably hear me now, but I don't know if you can hear me because I don't have it up in YouTube. Oh, there we go. we're getting audio. Excellent, excellent. All right. Hey, everybody. Good, happy Saturday night. I hope you all are doing well. I'm doing pretty dang good. I am extremely exhausted, but doing good. So thank you all for coming, and let's check in and see who all's here. Jim's in the house. Jim says, good evening, all. Happy Saturday evening. Thank you, sir. BB's here. Good evening. Says hello to everyone. Jim says, good evening to BB. Sarah says, hi, everyone. Happy Saturday and happy birthday or anniversary to anyone celebrating. Absolutely. Then we have a question from Christina. Hey, Christina says, hey, all. I have a question. If I'm watching one of your videos and an ad comes up, does YouTube pay you if I skip ASAP, or do I need to watch the whole ad in order for you to be paid? I don't know 100% sure, but I believe it's like Evel Knievel. He gets paid for the attempt. So if an ad pops up and the company is paying for the ad to appear on the video, whether you watch the whole thing or not, it's still showing up. So I think I'm guessing. I don't know. I don't know all the details of that. I really don't. But I do appreciate everybody who does watch videos. So I don't know for sure, Christina, but I assume that if the ad starts at least, somebody's getting paid for it. Jim says good evening to Sarah. Sarah says hi to Jim. Sarah says happy belated Mother's Day to all the moms in the chat. Absolutely. I hope you all had a fantastic Mother's Day. I'm really trying to think really hard what we did. I don't think we did anything special. I think there were little groupings of Mother's Day events where like a kid would come and visit. And actually, we all went out Wednesday night. My son invited everybody, including my mom and my wife and myself, to go see the new Planet of the Apes movie on their Wednesday night sneak preview, which was kind of good. We had a good time with that. Manuel says, good evening. Happy Saturday. Welcome, Manuel. Hope you're having a good one. Smidgen's here. Smidgen's in the house and says, hi, all. Manuel says, hi. Hey, smile. He meant Smidgen. Jim says, hey to Manuel. Andy's in the house and says, hey there, Drew. Welcome to the show. Clifford's here. Clifford says, happy Saturday, everyone. And go Canucks, go. That's got to be one of those Canadian things, right? Manuel says, hey to Jim. Jim says, hey to Smidgen. Manuel says, Christina, hello. BB says, hi to Jim. Manuel says, happy Saturday to Clifford. And hi to Andy. Sarah says, hi to Avery, who's not here yet. He does have an invite, and if he's able to join, that'd be great. Manuel says, happy day to BB. BB says, my attention is a bit divided, but we will be back with you in a minute or so. Okay, no problem. I understand. Life happens. Manuel says, hey, happy Saturday to Sarah. JRP Packers fan says, rip mom. Sorry to hear that. BB says, hey to Manuel. Clifford says, hi to Manuel, back at you. Smidgen says, spends happy not smiling faces, happy hands to Jim. Manuel says, Japanese happy Saturday. I'm not sure what he's talking about there. Sarah says, Drew, did Jen have a good Mother's Day? We did. We didn't really do very much because it was a work day for me. But the mothers all had. I'm blanking on what happened. I know we did stuff. I just don't remember exactly what all we did. Things go over the head sometimes. I know there were flowers involved and stuff like that. Regular Mother's Day type things. But I actually got my mom a bear, a stuffed bear that had a T-shirt on that says "Happy Mother's Day, Nana," and that's what she goes by, is Nana. And then I rubbed it into my sister and said I got her a personally embroidered gift. I bought it at Walmart. I mean, come on. I got her a card. I mean, yeah, she liked the card. Christina says, "Well, we know YouTube is getting paid." Well, they take the lion's share, so trust me. Tim says, "Good evening to all from sunny Kentucky." Henderson, Kentucky. Welcome, Tim. Manuel says, "I'm doing good on a Saturday night." Fantastic. Says, "Happy Saturday" to Tim. Big Rez here says, "Howdy, long-time Scam Baiter, first-time listener and watcher." Well, fantastic. Welcome to the show. Darlene says, "Hi to everyone." Welcome to the show, Darlene. Manuel says, "Hi to Big Red." Smidgen says, "My oldest granddaughter turned 21 last week. I feel really old." I'm nowhere close to that, but it's coming. There's grandbabies in the future. Right now, as you all know, I got a grand puppy, and we're rather excited about the grand puppy. I know I've shared pictures with you guys. I'm pretty sure I put it in the whatchamacallit, the you guys know what I'm talking about. But for those of you who haven't seen, I'm going to show you a picture of this cute little puppy. Of course, my phone wants to go slow as snot when I need it, you know. All right, here we go. What's this conversation? Come on, come on. Do you guys want to see one of the cutest little puppies in the world? Come on. Look at this little puppy. Look at those eyes. That little puppy, that is my shadow. He's my grand puppy. He's so wonderful. He's so adorable. And I can't wait for him to come and visit more often. He's getting kennel trained. He's getting crate trained. So he has to learn, that is his personal space. And they're working on it with him. So he's not allowed to go and spend time at grandma's house or great grandma's house just yet, because we will spoil the ever living crap out of him. And that's not when he's young and learning. He's got to follow rules. So, but I'm so looking forward to him coming and visit soon. Manuel says hello to Darlene. Happy Saturday. Jim says, "I got an old played out COVID test scam call Tuesday. I laughed and hung up." Really? You're getting COVID test scam calls again? Really? You know what's so funny is, for the longest time when those were going on, I kept getting them so often that I kept banking the recordings of those calls. I have a folder with probably like 100 of them that I never made into videos. Just because there were so many of them, I got them so often. And when the calls stopped, because the program stopped, the calls stopped, and it was like, well, what do I do with all those? They're just sitting there in a folder. But if they're going to start them back up again, I could recycle some of those. We'll see how it goes. But I think it's the subsidy calls, the Medicare calls. I hope you guys got an opportunity to listen to today's video. Today's video was actually recorded on Friday, and it was just so good. I had already had videos scheduled for the weekend, because usually by Friday I try to take care of everything through Monday, because I don't normally get very many scam calls on the weekends because I'm busy. So I usually try to have videos ready to go, and I had videos ready to go, but yesterday's call was just so dang good. I had to make it into a video, and I had to push it up in the calendar. So it premiered this morning. And if you guys have had an opportunity to hear it, it knocked me on my ass what this guy was asking me for. And when he initially started the call, claiming to be from Medicare, calling about new Medicare cards, which you all know is not something that's really happening, but to go to all the extra extent that he went to get information from me just blew me away. So if you haven't had a chance to hear it yet, give it a listen, because it was like, this is the epitome of what they try to do to people. Try to get your personal information. Try to get your credit card information. Oh my gosh, he even asked for my mother's maiden name. Crazy. But Jim, I haven't gotten one of those yet, but I'm looking forward to it if they start up again. Smidgen says, this is for everyone. Sends lots of hands waving. Big Red says, Manuel, how are you doing, my friend? He's good. I know he's good. Andy says, I don't know if you know this scam. I had an Amazon scam about books and something else today, but his buddy wasn't there, so we had to call. He has to call on Monday. Something about Amazon and books. That might be interesting. Oh, I know people have asked me before if I ever gotten the Publishers Clearinghouse calls, and I personally, I don't think I've ever gotten one on my phone, but my mother-in-law got one on her phone and recently. So I'm like, ooh, I'm looking forward to getting some of these. So we'll see what happens. Manuel says, I'm doing good on a Saturday night. Fantastic. Sarah says, tell Jen I said happy belated Mother's Day. Absolutely, I will. Clifford says, yes, definitely one of those Canadian things. Laugh out loud. Hey, do you ever watch Pleasant Green? I am familiar with his channel. I have watched some of his videos. Big Red says, LOL. Oh, Avery's here. Let me bring him in real quick. Good evening, sir. How are you?
I'm all right.
Yeah? All right. Well, welcome to the show. We're already knee deep in it. So you sound good again today. At least, I mean, your audio sounds good today. There's some type of whistling sound in the background. Are you outside?
No.
Oh, okay.
Fans.
Oh, it might be the fan. Okay. Well, welcome to the show, good sir. How are you? Yeah. All right. That's my body man. He's always good for commentary. And I got to tell you. Remember how I told you guys the story yesterday about the storage unit auctions that I went to? The guy that I knew from the flea market that was there came by my store and we were talking about it, chit-chatting about it. He told me he had bid on and won four of the storage units and didn't find a damn thing he could use. I'm like, wow, that's kind of rough. You know, nothing of what he bought ended up being useful. I was kind of shocked at that, but I mean, I guess that's something that can happen, you know? And he also said that one of the units went for $5,000 at one of the later auctions that I missed. So that was pretty crazy. But all right, back to the chat. Big Red says, y'all are wild tonight. Oh boy. It gets a little wild around here sometimes, but it's okay. Dave's here. Hey Dave, how's it going? Says hello to all. Welcome to the show. Christina says, what happened to the old office? It's still being moved around. I'm still working on moving stuff around. It's getting to the point where it's about 85% organized to where I can find stuff. But there's also stuff on top of each other that I have to clean up. I have to take care of. Eventually, there's like a bookcase like right next to my drawing table. That will be for art and art supplies and reference materials and stuff like that. Stuff that I can easily, quickly get at. Right now, it's got t-shirts, socks, empty folders, and a box of boards in it. So it's not where it needs to be. But we're working on it. BB says, I'm back. I was adding someone to my email contact list. Okay, excellent. Well, welcome back. Sarah says, aw, I think she was talking about the picture of the puppy that I shared with everybody. Manuel says, I'm watching you this morning. I see your cat walk across over when you talk with the scammers. Yeah, they do that every now and then. They're always coming and going. BB says, aw, cute puppy. He is definitely a cute puppy. Jim says, aw, cute puppy. Yep, that's my grandpuppy. Tim says, I was researching car warranty, got a call from Car Shield. They are terrible trying to get pricing from. I finally hung up on the sales guy. I have blocked their main number. Oh, boy. I don't think I've ever actually dealt with them directly, Car Shield. I've gotten calls from the fake car warranty people who never, ever give you any information. But Manuel says, awesome puppy. Yes, he is. Christina says, responsible dog ownership. Yes, they are working on. What's so funny is when they first got the puppy and brought him over to show him to us, I told my daughter and her husband, it's so weird saying that, but it's true. I told them if they need help with it, to contact my sister. My sister and her husband have their dogs are very well trained. They're kennel crate trained. They have one puppy she's not a puppy anymore. She's probably 2 years old now, but she's wild and crazy. But when you tell her, River, go to your crate, go to your room, she goes right, lays down on her pillow and stays there. She is a very well trained dog when it comes to her crate. Me, on the other hand, I tried to kennel train my dog, Charlie, one day. I literally put the kennel next to my desk, opened the door up and said, here, go sit in there. And he looked at me like, no, I don't think so. And he would never go in there. I was horrible when it came to training him to be a kennel trained dog. And so I told them, talk to Tracy, talk to my sister. And the kennel training is going on right now, and hopefully it'll be very good. It's an important thing to teach your dogs if you have large dogs and you're not always home, to have them trained to stay in the kennel. So okay, back to the chat. Smidgen says to Tim, I've been getting Car Shield emails. They can't sell to anyone here in California. Really? You always hear those commercials where they pitch you the idea and then they say not available in California, New Jersey, and whatever. And it makes you wonder, why are they not available in those states? I wonder what it is about California that they can't do that there. Interesting. BB says, my daughter and my son-in-law have a corgi, but he's not a puppy anymore. Closest I'll ever get to being a grandma. Aw. I always, in my mind, dogs are always puppies. I mean, my mother-in-law's dog, he's like 13 years old, and I still call him a puppy because he's such a cutie. But he's my buddy. He's my good friend. Darlene says, he looks like he's going to be a big dog. Yes. You want to know what he is? He's a quarter pit, quarter German Shepherd, and 50% Great Dane. So, in other words, huge. But we're looking forward to seeing what happens. Emmanuel says hello to Dave. Darlene says hi to Manuel. Christina says, I want an Aswalk. I'm not sure what that is. Aswalk? I'm not even sure if I'm saying that correctly. Tim says, I got a guy I dislike their I told the guy I dislike their television ads. Now that's funny. See what they say to that. Sarah says, great video this week, especially when you get pissed at the scammers. It happens from time to time. It really does. I had one call, guys. I can't wait to share it with you. I haven't edited it yet. But you know how when the subsidy scammers call and they say, we're going to give you a whole bunch of money. All you have to do is listen to this call, do this recording, talk to the license agent, and we're going to give you this money, which you guys know was bull crap. It's not happening. But they transfer you to the license agent, and they tell you, if they ask you if anybody offered you any money, tell them no. Well, that's the first thing I always ask the license agent. When am I getting my money, right? Well, I had one of those calls. They transferred me to the license agent. As soon as I brought up the money, they disconnected the call and they said, sorry, you're not supposed to say that. You're not supposed to tell them about the money. I go, okay, I'm sorry. I need to waste more of their time. So I say, I'm sorry, let's do it again. They transferred me to another license agent. And of course, I'm breaking the rules and I'm asking about the money right away. So they immediately disconnect the call, right? Well, when they call the license agent, they present your telephone number as the number that's calling the license agent. So the license agent immediately called me back. And this guy was the biggest a-hole I probably have ever talked to on that side of the call, the license agent side of the call. He called back and he said, hey, are you going to hang up on me again like a little girl? And I'm like, whoa. Because it wasn't me that hung up, obviously. It was the scammer that hung up and disconnected the call because I brought up the money. And I'm like, oh, you son of... And I went off on him. But like I said, I've got to edit that call because there was some bad words said on my part. And, you guys know me as a honest, decent, wholesome person who would never say any of those things out loud, especially to somebody else on the phone. So I need to hide my ill temper and and bad attitudes. But it was an interesting call, and the guy was just the rudest piece of crap I'd ever talked to. And I've talked to a lot of piece of craps. So look forward to that. That's coming probably sometime next week. It was a pretty decent length call, so I've got to edit out that stuff before I put it all together, but I'll share it with you guys shortly. Trust me. Darlene says, I miss my Dush Hound. He was a real character. Oh, I miss my Charlie too. He was my buddy. Larry's here. Hey, Larry. Says, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the show, Larry. Manuel says, hello to Larry. Manuel says, hello to Avery. Welcome back, my friend. BB says, Pleasant Green is good. I've watched some of his videos. Absolutely. Jim R says, the PCH scammers are evil and vile. Most of those calls came from Jamaica. I did talk to the guy that called my mother-in-law's phone for like a split second or two before he hung up. But I'm not sure if he's from Jamaica or not. But he definitely had a foreign accent and definitely calling about Publishers Clearinghouse. So we'll see what happens. Jim says, evening to Avery.
Hey, what's up?
Tarkorf is here, says, this morning's video, the call center boss walks in. Everybody shuts up and listen. I'm not happy. Nobody is stealing enough information. So this is what we're going to do. We are going to combine, oh boy, yes, we're going to combine our scams together. Aspects of several scams, absolutely. Guys, it's just amazing that they tried to do that. Avery, what we're talking about, the video this morning, I got a call from a guy claiming to be from Medicare, right? And he starts verifying my information. And then he asked me, what's your mother's maiden name? And I'm like, what do you need my mother's maiden name for?
You told me about him.
Oh, I did? I told you about this one? Okay. And then he eventually got into, what's your credit card information?
Yeah. He went through all of them.
And what's so funny, I forgot to mention this on the video. When it asked for my mother's maiden name, I just came up with a name and I said Alfred was my mother's maiden name, which obviously it's not. But it was because I'm in the middle of season 5 of Vikings, and Alfred was just made King of Wessex. And for some reason, Alfred was the only name that popped into my head. So that's the name I used. So that's where that came from for anybody out there wanting to know the 411 of the skinny on where my mind goes when I'm talking to scammers. Now we're all up to date. Manuel says, hey to Tarkorf. Dave says, hello, Drew. Hey, hello, Avery. Welcome to the show, Dave. And says, happy Saturday to Manuel. B. Bernie B says, good evening from Long Beach, California. Welcome to the show. Jim says, hey to B. Bernie B. Manuel says, hello to B. Bernie B. Manuel says, happy Saturday to Dave. BB says, my cat was just now vying for my attention. Laugh out loud. Well, that's all right. They need the love and attention as much as possible. Manuel says, I watch news from Encino and Eunice, I think that's how you say it, Eunice, Louisiana. He got scammed call from the BBB. Oh, really? That's interesting. Christina says, it's an African sight hound, 30 inches tall and 50 pounds. Wow, 30-inch tall. That's pretty hefty. That's amazing. BB says, those Jamaican scammers sound sleazy to me. I can't stand to hear them. Like a sleazy used car salesman. Ugh. Well, you know what's so funny? One of the videos this week I shared with you guys was from the lottery scammer. The lottery scammer who has actually called me many, many a time, and I've talked to them many, many times before, and telling me how I could be prosecuted for calling him a scammer. Love to see you try it, buddy. They literally called 3 more times over the next 2 days. One of them, one time they left a message. The other 2 times I pressed 5 and then it just disconnected. So at least I know they're still trying. And they're calling me. So I can't wait to actually talk to the guy again. Manuel says, you are awesome, Drew, and very funny. Well, thank you. So my head's going to get big from compliments. So don't do that. But thank you, sir. Darlene says, we got a GM airbag recall yesterday. We've never had Takata car, laugh out loud. Oh boy. Where they call you and tell you that your car's being recalled. That's crazy. Andy says, also, you forgot to mention your fake social security number. That was the kicker this morning. Well, I've used that before on another call, which I find hilarious. I gave them the last 6 numbers, which were all ones. And you'd think the guy would be smart enough to realize I'm screwing with him and give up at that point. Nope. He kept going with the scam. Kept going and wanted more information. Fantastic. Manuel says he lost about 50,000. You said the right name of the town. Okay, gotcha. Burst says hello to everyone in the chat. Welcome to the show. And Manuel says hello to Burst. Happy Saturday night. Dan says, oh my gosh, check it out. I'm caught up. I caught up on the chat. It's only 35 minutes into the show. Dude, that's called skill. That's called putting your mind to it and being on the ball. I mean, I know I get weirded out when I get compliments because it makes my head go big. But you know what? Sometimes I do it to myself. I hope everybody's having a fantastic evening. Today at the store, I actually did some construction on the big renovation project that we're working on. I cannot wait to share. Oh, Avery dropped. I bet you he's having issues. I can't wait to share videos of the progress with you guys. It's kind of cool. It's absolutely cool. But we'll see what happens. Christina says, tried to shame a Jamaican scammer by asking if his mother would be sad if he was stealing. He said, no, she steals too. Oh, that is sad. That is horribly sad. Welcome back, man. Stacy's here. Stacy says hi to Drew. Welcome to the show, Stacy. Manuel sends smiley faces and thumbs up. Stacy says hi to the chat. Manuel says hello to Stacy. And Stacy says hello to Manuel. Dude, I did it again. I'm caught up on the chat. I don't know what's happening. My whole world's getting flipped upside down. It's blowing up. It's going crazy because I'm up to date. Darlene says hi to Stacy. You guys think you guys can get one past me, but no, I'm on it. I am on it. So needless to say, getting some work done in the store. Very happy about that. My helper that I'm going to be getting this summer, who's offered to come in and help me, stopped in today, and we talked about it. And we originally planned not to start the major construction, the major work, until the second week in June. But turns out he might be available next week. So, or not next week, but the week after. So I guess at the end of the school year, there's really not a lot to do. I remember, Avery, I don't know if you remember that or not, like the last week of school, once your testing is done and all your stuff is done, there's really nothing else to do. And his dad was saying that, it may be easier just to keep them at home, instead of taking them to school if they're not doing anything. So, but yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to be great.
Yeah. A lot of times that last week, you're not actually doing anything.
Well, it's so funny in the fact that it's important that you be there on the first day of school because the schools get some of their government funding based on the number of students on the first day of school. So they want you there on the first day, but the last day, especially if you're like a senior. And because a lot of time the graduation ceremony is like a week or two before the end of school. So it's like once you graduate, you really don't have to go back. There's really nothing else left for you to do. And they kind of tell you need to come into school. But I remember those last few days of school in my senior year we were just hanging out and talking and having a good time. There was a lot of people that weren't there. Do you remember high school, Avery? It was a long time ago.
I try to block it all out.
Okay, good. All right, there's a lot of back and forth. Everybody's saying hello to each other. Manuel says, Drew, we get bad weather this past Thursday night. Have tornadoes in Louisiana. Well, please stay safe, my friend. We were supposed to have bad weather, like rainy weather, for like the last 4 days. It rained for like 15 minutes today, and that was it. It was like a downpour, and then it was done. I mean, it was to the point where I'm like looking around the store going, is it raining outside? Yeah, it is. Okay. And then 10 minutes later it was done. So we didn't get any of the crazy rain that we expected. So, well, all right, let's see what else we have here. Smidgen says, we had a senior ditch day back in my day. I don't remember if we did a senior ditch day or not. I'm sure there was one, but that's kind of something popular kids do, and I wasn't ever popular. So, plus, in my senior year, my girlfriend, who later became my wife, was a junior, so she was in school, and so I went to school to see her. You know, if there was a senior ditch day, it's like I'd rather hang out with Todd and Avery and Jennifer. You know, because we weren't all in the same class. I was a year ahead of Jennifer, and you and Todd were a year behind Jennifer, I think, if I remember correctly. Oh, hell, I don't remember, but I'm not throwing out actual numbers here. But my senior year, I went back because I was hanging out with my buds, my friends, the ones that would put up with me. Thank God you did, you know. Let's see what else is going on. Burr says a friend gave me a Publisher Clearinghouse scam number. I called it while in PT because everyone wanted to help. My name is Patricia Cake, but you can call me Patty. Fantastic. Manuel says, we are safe, my friend Drew. Very good. Glad to hear it. Sarah says, sorry, I'm far behind. I had to go out for 10 minutes. That's okay. You know me, I get really far behind. So if you're caught up, then we're on the same page. Stacy says hi to Sarah. Christina says, did you do a senior prank? No, I don't think we did a senior prank. We didn't, my class really didn't do a lot of those typical senior things. You know, our school, I think, was a little stricter than most. Avery, wouldn't you agree there?
No.
I remember somebody from your class jumping in the fountain or something and getting suspended or something.
Wouldn't remember.
You don't remember? All right. Yeah, I don't remember doing a senior prank at all. Stacy says hi to Sarah. BB says we have a Havention here in Xenia, Ohio. Traffic in the area of the fairgrounds and streets leading to it were crazy yesterday. Don't know about now, though. Okay, crazy. Hamvention. Okay. We have here in Jacksonville, we have a large county fair that comes every year. They were just talking on the news this morning that they're moving the fair out of the downtown area. They're moving it to a new location. And apparently the new location is not ready yet. It's not 100% ready. And there's a chance that for only the second time in the fair's 70 plus year history, they may skip it this year, which, you know, I'm 70 years and have only missed it. This would only be the second time they missed it. The first time being COVID, the 2020, they canceled the fair. But because of the fact that the new location's not 100% ready, they're talking about possibly canceling it. And I mean, it's been a while since I've been to the fair, but it's usually a big event here in town. You know, there's a lot of people that come to be involved with it and check it out. But that's crazy. Yeah, traffic is never very good when it comes. And what's so crazy, you guys may not know this, but the Jaguar Stadium is like literally right next to the baseball park, because we have a it's not major league, it's the minor league team. We have a minor league team here, and they're literally right next to each other. And the fairgrounds is like catty cornered to both the Jag Stadium and the baseball place. So when those things are all in flux and happening, downtown is crazy. And it's one of those things where you don't drive downtown unless you absolutely have to on game day and fair time, you know, especially when the fair's going on while there's Jaguar games happening. They usually schedule the fair for when the Jags are away, to make the whole parking lot available to people going to the fair. But it's crazy. Manuel says, how was Planet of the Apes? It was good. It was entertaining. It was a good flick. My wife and I watched the first 3 of the newer ones leading up to it. We watched 2 on Monday, 1 on the third one on Tuesday, and then we went to see the new movie on Wednesday. And if you like those movies, you'll find it entertaining. It was good. It was good. Tim says graduation ceremonies in Henderson get moved across the river to the Ford Center in Evansville, Indiana. No attendance restrictions. Really, a lot of the graduations, especially for some of our bigger schools, they only allow so many people from each family to come. It gets a little crazy, but I don't think they had any restrictions for DA's graduations. At least I don't remember them. I mean, it's been 10 years since my daughter graduated from DA, and so I don't know exactly, but we are now in graduation mode. We are in those weeks where graduations happenings are all over the place. So very busy times for most people. Darlene says, I graduated almost 46 years ago. Some years are a blur, but I do remember special times. My graduation would have been 32 years ago. I can barely remember last week, much less 30 years ago. Michael's here. Hey, Michael says, hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. BB says, glad you're safe, Manuel. Absolutely. Stacy says, hey to Tim and hey to Manuel. Smidgen says, BB, we have a strawberry festival going on, but I'm not going. Traffic will be horrible for that area. A strawberry festival sounds wonderful, to be honest with you. We have here in town, we have like the shrimp festival. There's a shrimp festival. What other kind of festivals do we have? We have the Jazz Fest, we have a World of Nations, which is another popular one. Of course, we have a lot of things revolving around golf. There's the Players Championship here, and then of course there's the football team. So it's a lot of stuff going on during the summer. So it's a busy place, and 99% of the time I just stay home. I'm not a big fan of huge crowds, so that's okay. I'd rather stay home and take scam calls to share with you guys. Manuel says, thank you so much, BB. James is here. James says, even though I know that these scams, I'm always screaming, don't let them get the money. That's good. That's good. I've told you guys before, if you get a scam call, feel free to yell at them, scream at them, holler at them, curse at them if you want. It's not going to hurt them. They don't have, like real human souls, because you can't do what they do and be able to live with yourself, the way they do. They're not good people. And what's so funny, one of my regulars who comes in the store, he's an older gentleman, and he gets a lot of the type of scam calls I get, and he watches the channel, so he's usually up to date on the scam calls I get, and he tells me stories about some of the ones he gets, and he loves screwing with them, and I think it's wonderful that he does. And all right, see what else is going on here. Manuel says hello to James. Christina says, we egged the school. They called out the police for the surrounding 3 towns, standing room only at the jail. Holy crap. That's so bad. Christina, so bad. BB says, the Hammervention is a ham radio operators get together. Oh, okay. For a minute there, I thought it had something to do with pork. But ham radio makes perfect sense. Perfect sense. They get a lot of people for that? That's crazy. BB says, Smidgen, we have that coming up in Troy, Ohio. Okay. BB says, you are most welcome. Well, thank you. Smidgen says, our town will be doing a drone July 4th show this year for the first time. It's only because fireworks vendors backed out at the last minute. Fireworks for regular citizens are illegal to have here. Really? I wonder what a July 4th drone show would be like. That sounds interesting. I don't know if it would get me to go out and watch something, but
you've never seen video of one?
Video of a drone show? I don't think so.
They're wild looking, dude.
Really? Okay.
Well, you remember old 3D graphics that were just dots and lines?
Yep.
Of things moving? Okay, imagine if you saw a Pokemon in the sky, like that looks like that's made up of dots moving, animated.
Yeah. And those
It's
are drones.
wild.
Is that what it is? It's drones that are doing the dots?
Yes.
The lights? Really?
Yes. Like Todd just posted a video one. It looked like a giant robot head in the sky shooting lasers out of its eyes. Right?
Drones.
And it was drones, and they had pyrotechnics and fireworks on the ground. So when it fired, it was like blowing shit up.
Oh wow, that does sound really cool. Smidgen, I hope you get an opportunity to go check it out. That sounds very cool.
It's crazy, dude. I was watching a video of one from China, and it was a giant Chinese dragon in the sky just moving around and twirling.
But the lights were from drones.
From drones, because you can't see the drones in the drone show at night. You can't see them.
Right.
All you see is their lights. So they're all moving in sync and turning off and on in the right patterns to animate it.
How many drones do you think is needed to do that?
Hundreds,
really. That could be cool.
No, dude, look up video of it. It's almost scary looking because you see this giant animated thing moving in the sky.
Wow, and drones are that sophisticated that they can do that?
Yes, especially if it's all being controlled by a computer.
See, there are times when I think the world's never going to be taken over by AI because AI is stupid.
No,
but then it does something like that, and
AI is going to have giant drone machines, dude. It's just made up. It's like
they'll blacken out the sky, blacken out the sun.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
They'll just come together, make a giant hand, and crush humanity.
Avery's like smiling because he's thinking about that. How wonderful that would be.
Yeah, it sounds pretty cool.
BB says, "You're most welcome to Manuel." Manuel says, "Drew, do you know this year's NFL plays in? I know we have 2 games in the UK. I'm not sure. I know we play the Bears. I think the Jags play the Bears, and I don't remember who the second game is. But yeah, Burst says my senior prank was stealing this from 4 sale signs out of some yards and putting them in some of the more well-to-do houses in the better neighborhoods with 6 high schools. They never knew which school did it. That's fantastic. Not that I'm encouraging anybody to do that, but that's a good one. That's great." Jim says, "I'm going to rent the Planet of the Apes next Saturday on Amazon Prime." Okay. Now the originals or the new ones? Because the new ones were actually pretty good. I mean, that first one was kind of slow, but they're all very entertaining movies. The amount of emotion that you see from these CGI created monkeys is just amazing. I mean, that you actually can see and feel the emotion that comes out of them. There's more emotion out of some of these CGI monkeys than there are actors in Hollywood, you know?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Like you said, the first one with James and all of them except for the brand new one, I believe, are on Prime right now.
I think so. Well, I have them on my Vudu account, so Avery has access to them anytime. So
no, I don't have your Vudu anymore. I got kicked out. Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, I'll double check with the password and I'll send it to you again.
It's all right.
So weird.
I right now I believe they're all on Prime.
Oh, okay.
The other 3 or 4.
The other 3, yeah.
Yeah, they're on Prime. The James Franco one's a little slow.
Right.
But the other ones, but it's not terrible. But the other ones are really good.
Yeah. There was some,
like you're rooting for the apes.
Oh yeah. And in this new movie, you're rooting for the apes too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't want to spoil it for anybody. Go see the movie. Yeah.
When the new one that's in theater, when it comes on Amazon Prime, I'm gonna watch it.
Okay.
I may even rent it once you can rent it for like $4 or $5. Just to go ahead and see it before I wait that extra 3 or 4 months for it to get on there.
Right.
Like, I don't know if I would pay the $20 to rent it if you can rent it while it's in theaters.
Well, I think Mike gets so many free credits every month from his work. And I think what he told us is he had like 19 credits banked up. So he took care of everybody's tickets to go see the movie. And he said he still had like 4 or 5 of them still left.
Oh, that's cool.
He'd been banking them up for something that everybody wants to go see, and everybody wanted to go see it. So
Yeah, I'll check it out eventually because
Yep.
I've enjoyed the others.
Yeah, my kid's a good kid. Love him. Love him.
He
All
is.
right. Manuel says next weekend, my nephew's wedding on Saturday. Fantastic. I'm guessing that means you're not going to be with us next Saturday, Manuel. Is that right? So, oh no, Sunday. Sunday. He says on Sunday. Okay, he'll definitely be here for Saturday. Darlene says we used to have a parade on the Sunday after graduation. The town canceled it years ago because of cost. That I can understand. Jim says congratulations to your nephew, Manuel. Manuel says my nephew built shop with her dad and baby brother. Okay. Maxine's here. Hey, Maxine says all my fall fair has been looking for a new location outside of the city for more space, able to replace old falling down buildings, also less traffic in the new city where the fair is being held. Yeah, they mentioned on the news where the new fairgrounds are going to be at, and it just right over my head. I wasn't paying enough attention to the newscast to know where they said it's going to be, but it's been downtown for 70 plus years, so wherever they're moving it to must have more supposedly they're building like an amphitheater and so forth, and the construction's not done yet, so we'll see. BB says the graduation was back in 71, which was well over 50 years ago. Lord, I'm old, laugh out loud, but not elderly until I reach 80, laugh out loud. That's true. That's true. My mother-in-law recently got some type of medical diagnosis, and she was doing some Googling. Come to find out that more than 15% of people over the age of 50 are susceptible to the condition that she's being diagnosed with. We still don't have final word on it, but then people, and it's almost 90% of people over the age of 90. So she's in between there, and the bottom line is it affects everybody, especially older people. So that's just one of those things that happens. You're not elderly until I reach 80. Very good. Smidgen says, we also have the X Games coming again this summer. Again, I'm not going. Too crowded with out-of-towners. Yeah, that's like, we have events that happen at the beach here in Jacksonville. Normal people, regular people that live here, avoid that stuff like the plague almost, because it gets crazy and nobody wants to be involved in that. You know, we'll let the out-of-towners, we'll let the people, the crazy people from out of town go out and get caught in the riptides. And I shouldn't say that because it has happened. You hear about these big events on the beach and somebody ends up getting swept out by the riptide. It's somebody from outside of the state, from outside of the city, somebody who doesn't know any better, and it happens. And there's lots of warnings too, but it happens. Manio says, okay, thank you so much, my friend Jim. Smidgen says, BB, I was a year ahead of you. Oh, goodness. Manuel says hello to Maxine. Happy Saturday. Christine says it was easy to be bad in Ohio, I bet. BB says I meant to say that we have our Strawberry Festival coming up in Troy, Ohio. Gotcha. Manuel says we have a festival in Scott, Louisiana. It's Po' Boy. Okay. Smidgen says I might be out of town July 4th drone. I might go to the July 4th drone show. Well, based on what Avery said, I would go check it out. Maybe. Not a big fan of going out, but maybe that's something I might have to check out. Glass bottles here.
I just looked on Amazon. The very first one, the Franco one, you have to rent.
Oh, okay.
The other two are on Amazon. I could have swore it was on there too.
Well, they got to make some money somehow, you know?
Yeah.
Glass bottles here and says hello. Maxine says, thank you, Manuel. Been a fan of Misfits for a few months now. First time I'm here for the Lime Street. Very excited. Well, thank you. Thank you for joining us. It's a lot of this. It's a lot of, we just sit around and chit chat and talk, and people put stuff in the conversation, in the comments, and we read them, and sometimes it leads to other conversations, and it's always, at least I think it's fun. I got enough people that come back regularly that they must think it's fun too. Or they're just waiting for me to do something stupid. They're waiting for me to screw up big time. That's why Avery's here. Right, Avery?
Yeah. I like to kick him when he's down. That's
right. He's waiting for me to make a mistake.
That's the basis of our friendship.
Smidgen says, Avery, I saw the drone dragon video. It was so cool. There are only 150 drones for that show, for our show. Okay, all right. That seems like a lot.
Yeah, it's wild, dude. I've seen some where it was Pokemon. Like they made like giant Pokemon, like Pikachu in the sky, and it was like moving. I was like, that's freaky looking.
You're screaming in your background. You got TV on or something?
Oh yeah. I'm looking at Amazon and it automatically plays those little previews. That's how I was checking to see, looking for making sure, not telling people like he said this was on Amazon right now, and it's not.
It's not. Yeah. Well,
it's like the Franco one. You got to pay $4.
Gotcha. BB says their drone light shows are awesome. Saw it on TV or someplace, and it's wild. Okay, I'll definitely have to check it out. Birth says, I finally asked the Publishers Clearinghouse scammer, how come every Jamaican scammer have the same name? He asked if I find this to be a joke. I said, learn to speak English properly, and you'll believe in the future.
Yeah.
Birth.
In Lord of the Rings, when they set off the firework and it's the big dragon?
Yep.
Man, the fireworks. Like?
Yeah.
That's what it's like in real life.
Really?
Because some of them even mix real fireworks with it, like the one I was saying with the robot head shooting lasers.
Yeah.
It's
cool.
like it looks like that in real life. It's wild.
Well, then I will definitely check it out. Tim says, Holiday World near me has a drone show nightly. I haven't seen it in person, but there are videos. Okay. Manuel says Brazilian NFL games this year, my friend Drew. Really? They're going to have games in Brazil. I know the Jags aren't playing in Brazil because we're Europe. We're England. So interesting. Very interesting. Christina says my grad year too, BB. Okay. Smidgen says hearts to births. Darlene says look up Sky Elements Drone Show. They have a Santa, tree, astronaut, and other cool effects. Okay. Sky Elements Drone Show. I'm going to write that down. Sky Elements. And we'll check it out. Andy says your Jags don't play overseas at all. I promise you, Drew. I'm pretty sure they do. We play. I think we play one or two games. Almost. I think we're contracted to for like the next 4 years at least. But they're planning on building a new stadium here in town, and so we're going to be playing a lot of away games because I think stadium renovation is going to take almost 2 years, and it hasn't started yet. So we'll see what happens. Murathan's here says, I like your scamming you're scamming the scammers. Okay, excellent. Well, thank you. Manuel says to Mura, then happy Saturday. Burr says, with family in every corner of Florida, the ones in various parts told me I better pledge allegiance to the right Florida NFL team or else I threatened to tell our 108-year-old great aunt they ran. You can be a fan of any football team in my mind, but if you're born in this town, you're a Jags fan. I mean, I told you guys that story about how my wife and I were looking at one point when the kids were much younger about moving to Charlotte, North Carolina, for work, and my mom got very worried that her grandbabies were going to be raised as Carolina Panther fans, and I told her not to worry, because both my kids bleed teal. They were both born here in Jacksonville, so they're Jaguar fans, whether they care about football or not, and neither one of them do. Neither one of them care a rat's patooey about football, but they're Jaguar fans. They will always be.
By that logic, I'm a Falcons fan.
Really? You're a Dirty Bird fan?
Wow. I'm from Atlanta.
Well, I knew you were from Georgia. I didn't realize you were from Atlanta.
Yeah.
Actually, I think I did know that. I think we have talked about that before. Your dad was yeah, okay.
My dad's a hillbilly from North Georgia. My mom's a swamp rat from South Georgia.
And they made you from Atlanta.
Yeah.
Heaven forbid. BB says the Hamvention used to be held in Dayton for many years, but moved to Xenia several years ago. Okay. I wonder if I wonder if the ham radio convention is like or the ham radio fair, whatever it is big with fans of like Stranger Things, because that was an aspect they brought into the last season of Stranger Things. So
yeah,
you never know. People could get into it because of that. So
I might, whenever they put out the very last season, I may have to redo Netflix just for a little while,
just so you can watch it all again.
Just so I can watch that last season.
Oh, okay. Manuel says hey to Murthan. Sarah says my son graduates June 7th. Fantastic. Congratulations to him. Burr says don't mess with the great aunt. If your feelings get easily hurt, don't ask her. Oh boy, that's wonderful. Smidgen says to Manuel, I like the Saints. Okay, well, we allow that here. Manuel says you like Saints. You're lucky because we play Saints in the New Orleans Superdome. Very good. Smidgen says, BB, I have a ham license. Never got a radio, though. My husband tricked me into going to meetings. I don't know if it was a class, but it took it and I passed it, and 1 point more than he did. Laugh out loud. Very good. Don't you love it when your husband drags you to something and then you outshine him? That's wonderful. Sarah says, I want to do a senior skip day, but my dad was a principal and he wouldn't let me do it. Oh, that is sad. I would hate for you. I would hate to have one of your parents be like the dean or a principal or even a teacher at the school. Oh, you couldn't get away with nothing. Nothing. That's so sad. Smidgen says to Sarah, oh, bummed. BB says, thumbs up to Christina. Maxine says, love your calls to scammers. As I live in Canada, we don't get the same calls from scammers. Never get Medicare scam calls as we have government paid for medical services. I'm sure they find something else to try to scam you on. I'm absolutely certain there's something else they go for. Andy says, Google your team on the internet, Drew. They don't oversee all in the U.S. They don't overseas all in the USA. I'm fairly certain they play in Europe in England again this year. I'll have to double check because I know they were talking about it on the radio. Burr says, Smidgen, after what New Orleans went through many years ago with weather, many years ago, we rooted for the Saints at the time. Okay. BB says, good for you to Smidgen. And BB says, Xenia is pronounced Sia. Oh, I keep trying. Every time I see that word, every time I see that name, I'm thinking of Xena, Warrior Princess. And that's why Xenia comes out. Anyway, once again, I did it again. I got caught up on the chat. Who is in the house tonight? Thank you very much, guys. Oh, just for that, we're gonna wrap up on time. We're gonna end this at 9:00, even though it's a few minutes earlier than an hour. It's gonna happen. Thank you all so much for joining the show. I appreciate everybody out there. I love the fact that you guys come every week and we get to chit chat and we get to talk about crazy nonsense. And sometimes it's very entertaining and very enlightening. And I appreciate it, guys. I'm definitely going to check out the Sky Elements drone thing. So I appreciate it. BB says, see ya. Seen ya. Tim says, my late brother-in-law could do more Morse code. Nope. Never got good at that. And Manuel says, I'm proud of my Dallas Cowboys. Excellent. Well, guys, as always, if you get any of the calls that I get, either hang up on them or screw with them like I do. And if you do screw with them, try to record it and share it with everybody. Remember the golden rule: screw and share. All right, everybody. Thank you guys so much. I hope you have an excellent. I know it makes you laugh every time you hear it, especially when I do it right. Especially when I do it right, And I really do have to, I literally have to think the words out as I say them in order to make sure it works right.
Yeah.
So, y'all have a fantastic week. I look forward to catching you all next week. Look forward to new videos coming every single day because I try to do a video a day plus a short a day. I did miss a short one day last week. It was like on a Monday. For some reason, I had made one and just forgot to schedule it. But I will try hard not to make those mistakes. You guys have a fantastic week, and everybody be safe, and we'll see you all next week.